I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. J. Robert Oppenheimer, director of Project Y. Many years after the end of World War II, Oppenheimer used this quote from an ancient Hindu scripture to reflect on his role in Project Y. You may be wondering why Oppenheimer used such sobering words. Well, it was probably because he helped create one of the world's most powerful weapons, the atomic bomb. This leads me to my claim, which is that Project Y played a crucial role in the development of the atomic bomb. Three main factors contributed to this conclusion. First, the location of Project Y allowed for the project to go forward smoothly and without detection. Second, the strong leadership of Project Y provided by J. Robert Oppenheimer and General Leslie Groves saw to it that the project was progressing efficiently and effectively. And third, the constant fear that the German scientists would beat the American scientists in the race for the atomic bomb pushed the workers at Los Alamos to work as hard as possible. World War II began on September 1st, 1939, when Germany invaded Poland. Soon, the United States had become caught up in the fighting, with enemies in Europe, North Africa, and the Pacific. Meanwhile, a group of scientists back in the United States had sent an important letter to President Roosevelt. The letter, written by several leading physicists, including Albert Einstein and Leo Szilard, warned of the possibility of developing atomic weapons. It also stated that other countries may have already begun to develop atomic weapons, possibly even Germany. The letter suggested that the U.S. government should consider developing an atomic bomb. As a result of this letter, Franklin Roosevelt ordered the creation of a new project under the Army Corps of Engineers called the Manhattan Engineering District. Later, this code name would evolve into simply the Manhattan Project. The Manhattan Engineering District had three major sites. The site at Oak Ridge, Tennessee was focused on uranium enrichment, the site at Hanford, Washington was focused on the production of plutonium, and the site at Los Alamos, New Mexico, Project Y, was focused on the development of the bomb itself. For years, the scientists at the Los Alamos laboratory worked to develop the atomic bomb and solve all of the practical issues that came up. Then, on July 16, 1945, the Los Alamos scientists detonated the bomb they had created, nicknamed the Gadget, at what was called the Trinity Test. Soon after, the United States dropped Little Boy, the first atomic weapon to be used in combat, on the city of Hiroshima, Japan. Later, Fat Man was used on Nagasaki, causing Japan to surrender to the United States. One reason that Los Alamos played a crucial role in the development of the atomic bomb was because of its location. The site at Los Alamos was fairly isolated, which is very important. Groves obviously didn't want people stumbling upon a top-secret military facility. And, if there were to be some horrible accident, he certainly didn't want the blast to wipe out an entire city. However, the site also had a road by which it could be easily accessed. This is very important for shipping materials to the facility. Additionally, the site had an ample water supply by way of the nearby Rio Grande. This would prove to be crucial for supporting the needs of the laboratory. And lastly, the beautiful setting of the Los Alamos facility encouraged scientists from all over the country to agree to work on the project. Without them, Project Y would not have been a success. These factors made the site chosen for Los Alamos ideal, and this allowed for Project Y to play such a crucial role in the development of the atomic bomb. The leadership of Project Y is another reason why it was so successful. General Groves was the military head of the entire Manhattan Engineering District, and overall, a very strong leader. In the beginning of the Manhattan Project, Groves decided that Oppenheimer was the best choice for leading Project Y. Many people thought this was a bad decision by Groves, but he was adamant. He remained completely supportive of Oppenheimer because he believed that it would be he who could get the job done best. This steadfastness on the part of Groves proved him to be a very wise leader. When it came to purchasing land and supplies for the project, Groves had a no-nonsense attitude. He knew his job was to handle all the administrative issues and leave the scientific work up to Oppenheimer and his team. Oppenheimer himself was also a great leader. His knowledge of the sciences involved in the project was vast, and everyone at Los Alamos looked up to him. While Groves was the guy known for getting things done, Oppenheimer was the more inspirational leader. Together, the two formed a collaboration that would prove to be vital in the success of Project Y and the Manhattan Project as a whole. The scientists at Project Y did indeed work in an ideal location under ideal leadership. However, another powerful factor was involved during those years at Los Alamos. Hiding just below the surface, there was a psychological force at work: fear. The wartime environment made it very hard for the scientists to forget that their enemies were probably attempting to build an atomic bomb too. Every time they faced a problem, they knew that the German scientists were trying to solve the same issue. Or perhaps they already had. In that case, the scientists at Los Alamos were falling behind and were at risk of getting beat. These were the thoughts that were on the mind of every man and woman who worked at Los Alamos. And the fear and the worry that they were experiencing pushed the scientists to work even harder. Without this immense fear and pressure, the atomic bomb may never have been developed in the time that it was. So, the fear of the Germans developing an atomic bomb before the Americans definitely played a deciding role in the success of Project Y. Of course, these are not the only things that contributed to the success of Project Y, but one could argue that they were the most important. Without any one of them, the project may not have been a success. By discovering how to harness the power of a nuclear reaction, the scientists at Los Alamos were ultimately responsible for bringing the world into the atomic age. Today, many countries have nuclear capability. However, an atomic bomb hasn't been used in an active war since the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki 66 years ago. Now, controlled nuclear reactions are harnessed all over the world to produce nuclear energy. It has its flaws, but nuclear power can be very beneficial. So, was the work of Project Y worth it? Was this new atomic capability a gift or a curse? That is for you to decide.